From emotional depth to expansive truth. Hey friends, welcome to my channel. If you're new here, I'm Elizabeth and this is the More Intuitive Me. I'm a tarot reader and your companion on the path of self-discovery. Let's flip some cards and dive into the magic. Today we're going to be honoring the threshold. We're moving from Scorpio to Sagittarius, so from emotional depth to expansive truth. And as we cross this threshold, we will be shifting from Scorpio's fixed water to Sagittarius's mutable fire. Now, in Scorpio season, we were invited inward. As you could see here, Scorpio is the sign of intensity, of exposing, purging, and renewing. This sign asked us to sit with the things that were hidden and to honor our emotional truth. This is about trusting the process of transformation. And now the waters begin to stir and the flame flickers, and Sagittarius calls us forward. Scorpio offered the gift of depth, and it taught us to feel without flinching, to name what was real, and to shed what no longer fits. But Scorpio's intensity can linger, and we may find ourselves holding on to what's already been transformed or the things that are resisting that next step. If Scorpio helped us uncover the truth, then Sagittarius is going to ask, what will you do with it? Sagittarius is a mutable fire sign. It's expansive, curious, and bold. You can see here the key words: optimism, exploration, and freedom. This is the season of exploration, storytelling, and philosophical clarity. It's not about escaping, it's about integrating what we've learned and letting it guide us forward. Sagittarius is inviting us to move from emotional depth to visionary perspective, from inner transformation to outer expression, and from secrecy to shared truth. It's a shift from the underworld to the open road. I thought that we could do a 4-card reading, and for this reading I'm going to be using Tarot of Haunted House. So let me give this deck a shuffle. This is a new deck. Well, I picked it up last month, so I wouldn't exactly say new, but I have been studying the deck, and so I've just recently started reading with it. I thought this deck would be awesome as we move out of Scorpio and into Sagittarius. So for card number 1, this is Scorpio's gift. So what truth or transformation am I carrying forward? What truth or transformation am I carrying forward? Oh, interesting. Okay, so we have the 9 of Wands. And then card number 2, what is ready to be released? What is ready to be released? Right? What emotional weight or secrecy even can we let go of? 3 of Wands. Okay. Now, card number 3, this is Sagittarius's invitation, right? So what expansion, insight, or adventure is calling? Okay, that is way too many. So we're going to put these back into the deck and keep going. So we're looking for a card. What expansion or insight or adventure is calling? All right, so what is happening here? Four of Wands. Okay, then we have card number 4. Integration guidance. Okay, how can I move through the season with clarity and courage? How can I move through the season with clarity and courage? 6 of Pentacles. Okay, I was going to say if we get another fire card, I don't know what we're going to do. First impression, that's a lot of fire. Coming out of Scorpio and moving into Sagittarius, this is a lot of fire. And, you know, fire is going to be that connection to confidence, to optimism, to passion and bravery. I feel like bravery is key here. So let's take a closer look. Card number 1. So this was going to be Scorpio's gift. What truth or transformation am I carrying forward? We have the 9 of Wands. And in this particular card, I can't help but feel like we have crossed a threshold, and it was tough, and it was perhaps confusing or scary, but we're almost there, right? When we look at this card here, the protagonist, Raven, she's actually coming out of a labyrinth. And that makes a lot of sense when we think about Scorpio being kind of like that deep well of water, of emotion. And so that difficult part is behind us, right? She's crossed over and she's so close to getting to the end of the road. So I really like that card there. And so when we think about what truth or transformation we are carrying forward, that's going to be endurance. That's going to be resilience. That's going to be the fact that we've been through some hard things and we can do it. We can make it to the end, right? A lot of times we don't believe in ourselves or we lose confidence, we lose faith. But this card here is saying, you got this. And then card number 2, what's ready to be released? What emotional weight or secrecy can I let go of? It's so interesting to get the 3 of wands here. So just for context, in the deck, Raven heard a noise. And so she grabs the candlestick and she heads down the staircase to kind of to investigate, right? So if we thought about like the 2, that might be you heard the noise and you sit in bed hiding under the covers, imagining the worst. But in this case, this is the 3. And so she's decided that she's going to go and check it out, right? She's not letting fear get in the way. She's taking that step forward. When I think of this question, what emotional weight or what secrecy can I let go of? It's fear. We can let go of our fear because we are, remember what I said in the beginning when we looked at this card here, and I said I feel like bravery is going to be an important word here, and that's exactly right. We are brave. Our previous experiences have taught us that, so we can take those steps boldly and confidently, and we could just leave fear. We could leave that behind us because we have proven that we can conquer our fears. Then card number 3, the invitation from Sagittarius. How interesting, because in the deck here, right? Interesting, we have the 3 and the 4. Okay. In the deck, she heard a noise here and she has gone to investigate. And what she stumbles across is this secret society. And there's some kind of initiation taking place. And you could imagine that walking into something like that might be a bit jarring, right? It's in fact a celebration, but not what you would consider a celebration. I think about There's adventurous spirit there. When you stumble into a situation like this, you have a couple of choices, right? This character, Raven, she could have probably peered, from around the corner and said, never mind, and ran in the opposite direction. Or she could confront and kind of, that idea of seek to understand, right? She could confront and find out what is really going on here. This is truly something that I would consider to be like, yes, maybe it's an invitation, but not to anything that you might want to do. But in this case, Raven is stepping forward. She's stepping forward. And I feel like that's the invitation. That is the invitation of Sagittarius. That even though things are not always what they seem from the outside. And obviously, this is like, probably not a great situation, but I feel like that's the invitation here, that a lot of times we pass judgment on situations just kind of based on what we see, initial thoughts, reactions, feedback, and then it turns out that it wasn't as bad as we thought, or that there's a silver lining, or it's an opportunity for us to grow, right? To step out of our comfort zone, to do something that we didn't think that we could do. So for me, I definitely feel like that is the invitation to not turn away, to face our fears, to get out of that comfort zone and do something bold and audacious. And then we have card number 4, the integration guidance, right? How can I move through this season with clarity and courage? We have the 6 of Pentacles. This is typically that card of reciprocity, of give and take, right? We see Raven here in the cellar with, I don't know, hundreds of rats. And yet she is pausing, and it seems like she's making an offering. This card here is, of course, suggesting reciprocity, but also this sense of balance. Remember that 6s are about harmony. We notice the scales here, right? A lot of times, this energy could be maybe very giving, right? A very giving, a very loving energy. But it's a reminder that we also have to learn to give to ourselves, to take care of ourselves. We have our needs as well. Here, Raven could possibly be working on finding a way out of that cellar. I mean, she's paused to do this beautiful thing, right? Offer a gift, but we also have to make sure that we are gifting to ourselves as well, as we think about the practical steps that we could take to kind of take this suggestion into our day-to-day lives. It's certainly not to stop caring for others or helping anybody out, but it is definitely that idea of making sure that we are honoring where we are and what we're able to offer, especially as we move into this season. We're getting very close to the holiday season. This is traditionally a time when time is moving very quickly. Our to-do list gets longer and longer. There are so many things that we are trying to juggle and manage, and oftentimes everything kind of happens in the open and close of an eye, and you didn't get the chance to experience the magic for yourself because you were going, taking care of other people, ticking off the checklist. So how can we do this in everyday life, right? How can we integrate in everyday life is make sure that you're taking care of yourself. Make sure that you're recharging your batteries. Make sure that you're taking time for rest, for care, right? For eating well. There's so many things that we tend to overlook during this time of year. And this is just, a reminder that the same way that you gift to other people, gift to yourself. What a great reading. I'm not going to lie. When I saw that fire, I was like, whoa, whoa, what are we seeing here? But, that's kind of like, I feel like that's why we're seeing this Six of Pentacles here, especially with Sagittarius being connected to fire and that go, go, go type of energy. It's going to be very easy for us to burn out, right? And we don't want to burn out. We started over here in this 9, and then we went 3, 4, and 6. So in order for us to continue going and make it to the next go around, we just have to remember to take some time for ourselves. All right, friends, I have a couple of journal prompts that I want to share in addition to these spread questions. So prompt number 1. What truth have I uncovered and how do I want to share it? Prompt number 2. Where am I being invited to expand, even if it feels unfamiliar? Friends, as we move from Scorpio's depth to Sagittarius's fire, may we honor both the truth that we have uncovered and the path that it opens. May we move with courage, speak with clarity, and trust the wisdom that is ready to be shared. Until next time, may your journey be both rooted and radiant. Take care, friends.